there, my name is Sheila Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So it's long been my contention, the SJWs, and please forgive me for using the blanket term. I can't think of a better descriptive for that clump of people, Twitterati maybe. But yeah, SJW has long been my contention that they are terrible human beings. Absolutely terrible human beings that are vindictive and angry and bitter and resentful. And basically all those really important lessons that like most human beings learn, by the time they're like 3. It's like really, basic lessons, like it's a bad thing to like seek revenge and just have simmering ongoing hatred for other human beings, all those sort of things. Yeah, again, the idea of not being able to forgive and move on, all the basic lessons that basic, decent human beings have acquired by them between the ages of 3 and 5, let's say. They don't have. So, how have I come to this conclusion? Well, I came to the conclusion a while ago. But what is this video about? There's another example, I think, proving supporting my worldview. So we're going to be talking about Keanu Reeves, who literally everybody loves. If you make an adorable puppy, a human being, and then turn him into a movie star and have him be nice and good in every way to everyone, and then just make movies that are delightful and entertain people. If you do that, and you do that for like an entire freaking career, people generally speaking quite like you. People generally speaking are pretty much on your side at that point. So apart from SJWs who are really really mad. So he put out a comic book on Kickstarter, not even Indiegogo, and SJWs are angry. Ooh, they're angry. They're always angry people. So we're going to be talking about that. Before we get into it, though, if you can I ask you guys, can you hit that subscribe button? That will be fan-dabby double dozy. Thank you very much. I am pathetically. I think I use the word reasonably accurately. I am pathetically grateful for each and every one of you that subscribes. Thank you very much. If you subscribe, other than making a rabbi very, very, very happy. And you actually do make a rabbi very happy. Yesterday, I watched my subscription numbers. It's too much. It's not good. It's just my advice to all of you is don't make your happiness dependent on external factors. Have your happiness internal. So I was watching my subscription number. It was like, I gotta remember, like 1568, right? I was like, oh, okay. And then it went down to 1567. I was like, oh. And I was like, it really impacted me. And I was like, it took me a minute before I went, see, you gotta get a grip. So anyway, thank you for hitting the subscribe. But what do you get if you hit the subscribe button other than making me happy? You get to enter my weekly competitions. The prize this week is the Talons of Weng Chiang, Doctoe Who, the Talons of Weng Chiang DVD. Special edition DVD. It's a 2-disc set. This is a 1976 stories, and it is, primo uno. It is perfect Doctor Who. It is almost perfect Doctor Who. It's a culmination of one of the greatest eras when two great forces, Philip Hinchcliffe and Robert Holmes, came together and just made magic. So this was they both left after this story, essentially, and it was just fantastic. So all you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel, and in the comments leave the hashtag Mr. Sin. And if you've never seen Doctor Who before, this is just a good episode to jump. Hey, listen. It was made in 76. The production values are 76. And actually, honestly, I think they kind of hold up. I mean, apart from, there's supposed to be a giant rat in it. And you see him at the end of the first episode. And what they did is they put a rat into a teeny tiny little sewer set, which is where it's supposed to be. And it looked like a little cuddly rat. Like, it looks, and then they made a giant, like a life-size giant rat. And he just looks all furry and nice. So that's the only thing that doesn't look great in the episode. Other than that, it's freaking awesome. So subscribe to the channel, leave the hashtag Mr. Sin, look in the video notes. You can just copy and paste, okay? And I'm doing the giveaway on I'm going to say September 7th. I think it's a Monday. I'm going to be on the TARDIS zone. We're doing a rewatch of the first part of the 2-part season finale from the 2006 Doctor Who series, which is a lot of fun. If you want to join us for that watch along, join us then. We do we'll do the prize drawing then, and then we pick a news prize. There's graphic novels, there's DVDs, there's all kinds of stuff. Basically, any stuff I have lying around that I don't need anymore, like this DVD. I made it a prize because I got the Blu-ray. So I'm like, okay, I don't need the DVD anymore. So I'd rather you guys have it. Fine. Keanu Reeves. We all love Keanu Reeves, right? Keanu Reeves is freaking awesome. So he's put his name behind this this graphic novel. Here, let me see if I turn this on. There you go, Berserker. Spelled basically with all the all the vowels missing. It's BRZRKR. By the way, I said Z. That shows you how long I've been out of England. It's just natural to say Z. So it's basically his idea, his property, his story. And you know, honestly, this is for the next franchise after John Wick, something new he can play, which he now owns completely. You know, he did it from the ground up. So good for him, And he put it on Kickstarter. Now, Kickstarter is the only approved crowdfunding platform that the SJWs let you use, because you can't use Indiegogo because the Comic Skaters, which is a group that I love. I love Comic Skate. I want to put my cards on the table. That's where I am. It's because the Comic Skaters noted some ideological, political gatekeeping at Kickstarter. I said, fine, we'll take a business to Indiegogo, and they've been very happy ever since. So Kickstarter is the only acceptable platform, but still doesn't help. You know, Scott Snyder, who is one of the industry leaders, he wrote. He actually wrote a lot of good stuff. He wrote Batman for a number of years. Did the Court of Owls series, which I thought was really good. That was one of the last Batmans I read. That I thought I really enjoyed that stuff. So when he did a Kickstarter, he hired the woman who was fired from Kickstarter, who was essentially the SJW gatekeeper. He hired her to manage the campaign, which basically meant it was like it was an SJW guardian to make sure that he wasn't problematic. And yeah, one thing to make sure you're not problematic is you've got to promise not to make any money from your business endeavors, right? You've got to promise I'm not going to do that. So Keanu Reeves unfortunately didn't promise to do that, and so he's encountered the role. And look how well it's doing, by the way. It's been going for like 2 days. And it's got maybe 1 day. I think it's going for 24 hours, and it's got $277,000 so far on the Kickstarter's going to pay. So good, good luck to them. They're doing very well. Congratulations on their success. So there's one group of people can't congratulate another on their success are SJW comic book creators, because they are twisted and bizarre. Now, SJW comic book creators are miserable people who work for pittance, because essentially what they did, they came into an industry and they destroyed it. They made it worthless, and then all of a sudden they made it that they were the only people who were allowed to work in that industry, and the comic books they made were completely unsaleable. You know, nobody's interested in them whatsoever, and so they don't make any money. So anybody else making money, they are just insane with jealousy and anger, which is what we're going to see now. Because it doesn't matter. That Keanu Reeves did everything right. He did everything freaking right. He used Kickstarter. He's had a life of virtue, of being a good, nice person. He has nothing. He has no problematic tweets. Nothing. He's done nothing wrong. He's just been more successful. That's it. That's intolerable. So let's have a look. We're going to have a look at a smattering of the tweets to see inside the minds of madness. We're going into the mountain of madness right now. So the first person is Komolusk. He's a playwright, a TGRPG writer. I don't know what that means. I don't know what TGRPG is. Role-playing game. What's TT mean? Terrible tits? He writes role-playing games about people with terrible tits. That's a bit of a subjective thing. Maybe terrible tits isn't what it means. Denizens of corporate hell. It means he had a job, or she had a job at one point. ORC stabber. I don't even have not a clue. Americana. These are things they've done. Okay, ORC stabber, Americana, and Monster Care Squad 2021, picked by the incredible Trevor Candace Stuffin. 25. Oh, he's 25. Oh, she's 25. He, him. Fine. So let's see, have a look. What's got him upset? Yeah, what's he upset about? Please do not back BRZRKR and tell your friends not to do it also. If you backed it, consider cancelling your pledges and put your money towards independent artists instead. No, don't put. He's saying, don't buy something that looks like you might enjoy it, right? Don't buy something. Let's have a look at the campaign again. Don't buy something that just because you think, oh, that looks like a good product. I like Keanu Reeves. I like this project. The artwork looks good. Yeah, it's got good art. It looks good. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't buy a product because look at that. It's a nice looking package as well. Don't buy a product because you want it. You have to support. You have to buy the crap that these people put out that nobody's really interested in. That's the bottom line. No one's really interested in the crap they put out, and so that's why they have to use guilt to sell their wares. And again, they're just apoplectic that this industry, the comic book industry, which they have pulled low, that they have strangled to death, still responds to market forces of people buying things because they think they like it rather than they think that it's virtuous. So then Liz is it sure is Liz. I'm sure it sure is Liz. Well, with Boom doing a damn Kickstarter like they're not a massive company with a huge pre-existing following. Excuse me. Don't worry about other people's successes. Don't count other people's money. Don't worry about yourself. That's it. Just worry about yourself. Because when you spend your time looking at other people, you're doing it so you don't look at yourself, right? You're doing it, that's the bottom line. These are the things you're supposed to learn in kindergarten. These are the basic life lessons you're supposed to learn by the time you're 3. Stop counting other people's money. Stop looking at other people's successes. With a huge pre-existing following and Netflix deals. Now, Netflix deals, they put in caps, is because Netflix deals is the golden goose for most of these terrible comic book creators. Most of them, in my opinion, don't get into comics to make comics because they love comics, because they love the medium. They do it as a stepping stone to get into Hollywood, which is the stupidest thing ever. Have you ever seen how a Hollywood screenwriter lives? Not that good. Not that good, that's not what you want to do. And again, if you're using comics as a stepping stone to get to Netflix, you're a moron. You're an absolute moron. No. Because it's not going to work. You're not going to make comics that are any good, and you're not going to get your Netflix deal. And even if you do get your Netflix deal, it's not going to be enough to live on. You might as well go and work in Starbucks for the same money. It's essentially the same money, which is basically what she's going to be saying here. It's Netflix deals. It's a great time to remind everybody I was paid $20 per page, per ink page during my run on Giant Days. 20. So let me ask you, Liz. Did somebody come up to you and did they hold a gun to your head, right? Did they hold a gun to you and said you are going to do this for $20? No. Well, this is what happened. You and people like you. Systematically drove the customer base away from an industry which made it no longer financially viable. And the comic book industry hasn't been, what's the word I would say, overly respectful of its creators in its history, right? Hasn't been overly protective of it towards its creators in its history. And so it's unsurprising when the money leaves the industry, the first person to feel it will be the creators. This is why I think Indiegogo and Kickstarter is such an incredible sales platform. I'm just so into it. Yeah, the only reason I'm making my channel is at some point when I feel it's got big enough, I'll be able to use it as a platform to run Indiegogos from. And believe me, they're going to be heavily hashtag Comicsgate because I just like the ideals of that movement. I'm sorry that you chose to work for $20 a page. It was a bad decision. It was a bad decision, and I think your life probably sucks because you've made a lot of bad decisions. And because your life sucks because you made a lot of bad decisions. And I think you made those bad decisions, Liz, because you didn't learn those basic life lessons that you should have learned by age of 3. You're now bitter, and you don't want to see anybody else succeed. You don't want to see anybody else have any success. And when you see somebody else get success, you feel it's taken away from you. No, it's not. No, it's not. People, the $277,000 that this has raised in one day, over $250,000 in one day, was never going to go in your pocket. No one's interested in your, I'm going to guess, gay anthology. The gay comics almanac, whatever, or the trans comic. No one's interested. I mean, and this is why, by the way, these type of people can't stand the free market. They cannot stand the free market because the free market decides what's good and what isn't. They don't get to tell you what's good and what isn't. And again, the reason that they're piling on Keanu Reeves here is because he doesn't have protected status because he didn't hire an SJW to manage the campaign. I'm so furious. 4 years I spent doing everything you could imagine under the sun, comics-wise, for that company. You're just an idiot. You're just an idiot. You should have spent 4 years building on your channel, making your own book, working for, doing your own thing. And honestly, if you're making $20 a page, you could have got a job at Starbucks instead. Don't have to live in New York. Go and live somewhere cheaper. Could have got a job in Starbucks and still have more time to work on your own property. I'm sorry you made idiotic decisions. Stop counting Keanu Reeves' money. Stop counting Boom Studios. And I don't like Boom Studios. So stop counting their money. Worry about yourself. Don't worry about other people. Making reasons how they don't want to pay for their own publications. The reason that they run this Kickstarter is because they want to connect to a customer base. And you've driven away the customer base from comics. So they've gone to another way. They found a new platform to get to that customer base who all happens to like Keanu Reeves and good and exciting comics, right? They went after that customer base because you drove them away from where they used to be. And now you're mad. Honestly, why are you mad? Because you have been circumvented. That's why you're mad. Again, these are all lessons you're supposed to know by the time you're freaking 3 years old. None of this is complicated. The calculation, I'm disgusted. They don't want to pay for their own publication. The calculation, I'm disgusted. I don't care. That's the other thing. You think people care that you're disgusted. Go away and make a comic. Go away and make a comic that I care about. And then I'll care. Don't stop with your complaining. Again, your boy Zach had the freaking awesome quote, one of the best quotes ever, that SJWs are essentially grievance Pez dispensers. They will have they'll have a grievance, and then you'll take that grievance and you'll address it again, and bloop, straight away there'll be another grievance. When they offered me $20 a page over Easter weekend to do half an issue of pickup inks on ST on Star Trek, because their inker was having problems with RSI. Wonder what RSI is. Wonder why. I ended my relationship with them, but they just kept putting their foot in it. What? I thought you said you worked for them 4 years at $20 a page. Okay, I don't understand. So Calvin says, reminds me of when Archie Comics did a Kickstarter, the prices on the, again, this isn't to raise the funds. This is to use the platform to build awareness, right? And this guy says, Counterpunch says, I was only cool with McFarlane doing a Kickstarter because he's a private company and what he wanted to do for the Spawn figures again, it's not your business how people want to make their money. It's not your business what platform why does it bother you? What's it to you, weirdo? What I mean, are you worried that you're not going to have enough money to dye your hair purple? Really? For God's sake. Damn, says Bad Tux. It's a shame they have to have some of the best graphic novels out there tied up with their publishing contracts. They need to be better people in the industry. Oh God, shut up. No, again, this is not a philanthropic charity. This is a business. And they wanted to connect to a customer, which you're not in, which you've driven away. Matt Miner, who says Black Lives Matter. Well, I'm glad you pointed that out, Max. I didn't know that until you told me. Said, good Lord, we pay a good bit more for that to artists for our dang anthologies that no one's buying. No one's buying your dang anthologies. So now somebody gets to do something that they love. This is their the happiest moment of their day for Garbage Boy. Garbage Boy says, At Exalted Funeral, I was so disappointed to see you all back this project. To be honest, really, again. So was this a nice idea? Well, you see all these different replies. Here, let's go to another one. Gail Gallagher. Now, Gail Gallagher is a cartoonist, mentor. Darling. I'll give up on the mentorship if I was you. That might not be for you. Bun friend. I don't know what that means. Bun friend. It means you date a bun. Is that what it is? A garf. Okay, and I don't know what a garf is either. In the comments, please let me know what a garf is. I'm quite intrigued. Babysitters Club graphic novels 5 to 8 at Graphics Books. Yes, and I bet all the librarians across America rush to buy that, and nobody else. Because again, I'm looking at your art right here, and it's fun, it's cutesy. I don't think it's. Honestly, I think there are many things that work best when they're aimed at 8-year-old boys. I think Star Wars, when you make it for 8-year-old boys, you get great Star Wars. I mean, if the proof of that, you want to A/B it, compare The Mandalorian with the sequel trilogies. The sequel trilogies were made for girls, were made for 8-year-old girls, and were reasonably boring. And then, they lost their entire, they lost their audience. And they blew up the franchise with the second one, and then they spent the third one trying to fix it. And then you got that's the sequel trilogy. Mandalorian, made for 8-year-old boys, fantastic. We all loved it. Doctor Who, you make it for 8-year-old boys, you get freaking awesome Doctor Who. You make it for 8-year-old girls, you get a boring snooze fest. Comic books. Now, comic books, there should be comic books for all kinds of people, right? I'm all on board for that. I'm bored for there being comics for people who like this sort of stuff, who want like gay trans rights book, whatever, gay trans man, rainbow man, whatever it is. I'm all for that, but I'm all for letting the market decide. But the people who do these type of books, the people who do this type of stuff, are not for letting the market decide, because the market decided they wouldn't have a job, would they? No. So they're not all for letting the market decide. And she is she. Whatever. Okay, fine. And so they're just mad that the market decided. They're mad. They managed to chase away the customers from comic book stores, and now comic book publishers have found a whole new place to sell comics. Now we've got to chase them away from there too. Really? Well, a girl's work is never done. I think it's what she wants to say. Let's hear what she's got to say. I do need you to know that I'm absolutely cackling at the idea. No, she's not. She's her little red green eyes. She's furious. Can we go to a major comic book pub which has deals with Netflix and Universal? Hopping onto Kickstarter to fund their Keanu Reeves comic book. For some reason, page rate increases are in the stretch goals. Weird, because they don't need to be. They don't need to be. They probably just paid everybody, and everyone's happy. It's just insane. I might be full of joy and comic books love today, but I'm also deeply salty at times. It's part of the Thai 5 flavor principle. Whatever, darling. I would say, okay, how many tweets have you done? 16,000.8 tweets, and you joined Twitter in 2000. Okay, so I would say do less tweets, do more comics. Would probably be the thing. So then Stephanie Cook on hiatus-ish. So that means that she's a SJW comic book creator who has chased. I've heard from her that she definitely heard about that. She chased men out of the industry. Right, she's gatekeeped, and she's not happy. She's not happy at all. She says, and they also released this quote, which simultaneously asking people for money on Kickstarter. Yes, they asking me for money. That's how business works, right? You make a product, hopefully people like it, and they will give you money. They exchange money for goods and services. That's how it works. And the quote that they don't like is this. I'm going to give you, after the headline, what the big quote is, Rich told comicbook.com. And the big quote is, we're not kickstarting Berserker. We're not raising money. We've got the money for it. I've been talking to retailers, big direct market retailers about this. When you think it's okay, you have Keanu Reeves and you have somebody who's never read a comic before to read it for the first time. Yeah, again, they're trying to connect to the audience, an audience which, once again, you have driven away, you purple-haired weirdos, and now you're having a tantrum about it. We got money for it, says Gail. Is the big quote, and should absolutely be part of every page renegotiation they're part of. Okay, what is it your business? What's your business? Like, again, it's not your business. No, listen, my father, my parents were far better business people than us. Than us. I was going to say, I think of me and my wife was a far better business person than me, because they had concession stands at these concert venues, Wembley, and they would charge the exact amount of money that somebody that with the penny before somebody says, there's no way I'm paying that. So if they had like a candy bar that normally sold for $1, they would sell it for $5. No, they wouldn't sell it for $5, because they would say, I'm not paying $5 for that. But they would say, I guess I'm paying $4.50. Okay, and my mother, bless her, all my worst qualities come from my mother, and I love all of my worst qualities for that reason. My mother, bless her, when she was working there, they forking over like tons of money for a Coke and a donut. They said, I bet you got a Mercedes parked in the garage. She said, not realizing that she was the owner of the stand because she worked there. And she said, actually, yes, I do. And she did. Good for her. Every artist needs to save a screenshot and send it in, set it in during their contract negotiations. No, you shouldn't be having contract negotiations. Okay, you should be able to sell your stuff directly to consumer, right? That's the world you live in now, and that's the world you created. Okay, because you've twisted these companies, you've destroyed all these companies, and they're all over now. It's just the way it is. You need to be able to sell directly to consumer, and you can't do that because there aren't enough consumers willing to consume your nonsense. There are plenty of librarians. Yeah, if you get a publisher to publish it, put it on Scholastic, you're doing great. But they're out of money. You destroyed their industry. So maybe you can go directly to the librarians. I don't know. Maybe so that's something the SJW. That's the next thing they have to work out. Are they an actual publisher, or is this an elaborate pyramid scheme? Okay, if there's a negative interpretation one can put on anything, SJW put on it. Again, what's just one of these basic life lessons that you should have learned by the time you're 3. By the time you're 3, maybe 5, you should know it's a good thing to look at people with good eyes. Look at people, judge people favorably. As judge people as favorably as reality can allow you to, but they can't do that. Is it apparently? You mean they failed as a film producer, so now they're just being catty? So you mean they failed as film producers, so then they milled out ideas, paying for their creators, teenage records? Don't take the money. Don't take the money. Me again, and this is interesting. Mate, trading tickles a penny while signing deals with huge media giants. Say it ain't so. Seriously, so disrespectful. I can't even stand it. Oh dear, Catty Farina, you can't really stand it. And again, you're facing adversity. So facing adversity is the absolute worst thing that happens to SJWs. Having things not happen the way they like it is the worst thing in the world that happens to SJWs. So there you go. We took another voyage into the wibbly wobbly world of the insane, the demented, the evil, the people who have destroyed the comic book industry and are now laying on the floor, kicking their arms and legs, screaming because other people have found ways of connecting to the audience that they drove away. My name is Sheila Becken, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.